So people, you often see like the third eye, right? It's a forehead. People, you'll see it there. But really, there's a much more powerful experience of the Ajna chakra if you take your awareness into the center of the head. That's really where it is. And I think people make that mistake sometimes with chakras where they focus on like the outer part of the body, but it's like they're inside. They're in the center. So particularly for this one, I think a lot of people will focus here, and it's like, no, like it feels very different when you pull your awareness back into trying to find the center of your head. The color indigo, sure. All elements are present in their purified essence, or avyakta, the primordial cloud of undifferentiated energy and matter. Possibilities. Aum. Aum is the chakra, mantra, or Om. Aum, Om. Chanting Om or Aum is very good for detachment, but it's not necessarily great for relationships with people. It's great for letting go of everything. So again, it can be wonderful and very peaceful, but it can sometimes cause a little too much separation. But people use it a lot. The ability to view all areas of our lives with clarity and intuition. So, the third eye, so encompasses our actual vision. This whole section of the head. I am able to clearly see the truth. With clarified vision, I am able to objectively view my past. All of my actions are in accordance with natural law. I am able to see the reality in all situations. All of my desires come true. So this is, you think about that primordial cloud of undifferentiated matter. This is our manifestation center. This is where we bring forth what is best in our highest good. This is where we are able to clearly see the truth. I think, the fact is, we all have areas of life where we're in a state of self-deception. We all have areas in life where we are not able to clearly see the truth. There are lots of things that we like to believe that are not the truth. And the more active this chakra is, the more clearly we'll be able to see. And you probably, if you can think of somebody right now, you probably know somebody who does this thing and like, oh yeah, like I'm doing this thing, it's so good for me, and you're just like, even I can tell that's not good for you. But that's the thing, it's like it's a Ajna chakra problem. It's like I'm not clearly perceiving. We all have a lot of filters, and so the author Robert Anton Wilson, and a quote of his that I always really liked was, "The thinker thinks and the prover proves." Just like anything we think is true, we can find something to make it true. That's how we work. The thinker thinks and the prover proves. So that's part of the Ajna chakra, Like we can find whatever we want and make it true somehow. If we're attached to it. How do we get past it? We do our best. It's just part of it. Meditation on the Ajna chakra destroys the karma of past lives and gives liberation and intuitional knowledge. It is here that the yogis consciously put prana at the time of death. So when people are dying, essentially your prana is exiting the body. So they start to draw their prana and concentrate here. So they can be like, and now I choose to exit. Which is very nice. Yes, if you're actually really drawing your energy up. This is where, being able to clearly see the truth. We know from physics now has taught us that all of this stuff is mostly empty space, right? But we see it as matter. So spiritually, when the energy reaches here, this is when we start to see truth. And so that means this isn't real. This is all empty space. This is mostly empty space. And that's where it's like this is not necessarily a goal if you're trying to live a life. Because yes, it's like reality starts to dissolve into that primordial cloud of possibilities. So this isn't necessarily a goal, you know, unless it is. If it is, that's great. But I would say, like, you don't want to necessarily really work on this chakra a whole bunch. It does what it's supposed to do. It's pretty functional. It's definitely pretty functional on its own. You don't need to do a lot. You got the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus, autonomic nervous system, hormonal regulation. So there's a physical imbalance. There could be something happening with the Ajna chakra where it's a little bit off, but the thing is, if it's actually really malfunctional, you're dead. Like, you're alive, you're functioning, you're here. It's doing okay. It's not doing too terribly, you're here. Let's see, clear perception of the ego if it's healthy, imbalanced, increased or decreased self-perception from an egoic viewpoint. Self-deception. Proper spiritual functioning, expanded perception of reality and of the higher self or soul. You start to feel who you are with oneness.